Is Fab
Sports
Dollars.
bucks.
Nice crack, dude.
All right, let's keep it informal, all right?
You gotta
We're
keep
gonna
the
let's
label
just
like this. Wait.
Cheers, Mr. Chris.
Boot gelat. Cheers.
all right. So we'll get started. Um, yeah, this is the first Branford fantasy football podcast. We're here, me and Mr. Chris. We got guest Justin. Um, possibly gonna be co-manager of Chris's team this year. I don't know. There were talks of that. Is that in the works, guys?
It's based on compensation, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants
Oh,
to win, I'll let him win. But
well, Chris isn't gonna be at the draft, so might
oh,
be
yikes.
your
Might
sleeper.
be my
You might be the
idea.
drafter. Yeah.
All
So
right.
I'm personally, I love fantasy football. I'm excited about it all year round. I listen to podcasts, stuff like that, and anything to bridge the gap between the end of the season and the next draft. So we wanted to get this going to keep some hype going for the league. We're probably gonna do these a couple times in the off season whenever we can get around to it. Whenever there's interesting stuff to talk about. During the season, we're gonna look to do this once a week. Me and Chris are gonna be the primaries running this. Ideally, we could pull in some guests from the league, whoever really wants to. Um, what we're gonna go through during the in-season podcast is the previous week's games. We can go through who won, some close matches, who showed up, what players were real stinkers.
Interesting
Um,
trades.
oh yeah, we're gonna
Hmm.
go through
Banter.
Mr. Steve's terrible trade offer of the week.
Oh my god.
Steven.
Maybe we can call up Sprouts Ball's CEO. That's Justin for you. That's Steve's dad and uncle. I'm pretty sure.
Sweet.
He
Dad
review
and uncle?
Yeah, they review his trades for fairness. So
Is
maybe
this
we can.
bias? Like, is Steve trying to continuously trade like eighth round picks for Ezekiel Elliott or
He's in conglomerate.
Don't give him any ideas,
Sprouts
dude.
Ball is it's a multi-million-dollar operation over
Mhm.
there.
Sure.
They've completed ones of trades over the past 10 years.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll do a little power rankings. So, and we'll talk about the matchups for the next week.
We'll talk about the keepers too for next season.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting you guys are in a keeper league. I've never played a keeper league before, but how did you guys like it compared to a standard PPR league?
Would have been better if I'd known about it before we drafted, but you know, we got somebody good. Luckily,
Yeah.
we got actually two good candidates on my team to keep.
Just we already? You just say we?
No, I struggle with pronouns. Sorry.
It's 2019, dude.
2019. We is
Pronouns
fine.
or whatever.
We all are winners.
Yeah, we'll get to keepers in a second though. We're gonna
Let's
go
get
over
into
the
this.
we're gonna go over the 2018 regular season standings. So we're gonna start at the tail end. It's our boy Saquon D's nuts, Mr. Locke. He had a rough start, and he took advantage of the ability to trade draft picks for the next season and set himself up quite nicely.
Very nicely. He's got how many extra draft picks coming in next season?
I believe
Like
it's
four,
three or
five?
four, two of them being in the first 5 rounds. So he's
Yeah.
probably,
What rounds? Talking like third and fourth rounders or
I think one of them is actually a second rounder.
jeez.
I could pull that up right now.
Dang.
The other half of that, though, is that with his roster, he could have easily made playoffs at the time that he was abandoning ship and, fire sailing his team. Like, he had a good roster. He didn't need to do that, but he sold out, jumped ship.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see if it plays off this season. It didn't
I mean,
pay out
it
for
has
Joel.
it has to then, right? Like if it doesn't play out this season, then it was all for nothing. You lost 2 seasons.
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, yeah, you can see he's 5-8 at the end of the year. If he kept his roster, could have easily, snuck in the playoffs, and anything's possible. I think if you look at our league's history, very rarely does the top 1 or 2 seeds going into the playoffs actually win. It's always usually like the 6th seed or the 5th seed, but that's a choice, and that's something that we wanted to implement, that we wanted to have happen, or you want to give you the ability to do that with these new rules, with the trading draft picks and keepers. So we'll see how it
Is there
goes.
like a veto process for trades or commissioner? Or, I don't know. I'm not in the league, so
So
Kind of.
yeah, so I will only veto a trade. There's no official veto process, and that's some people have voiced their concerns over that. But I think a lot of people share my opinion. Trades are exciting, so they shouldn't be vetoed unless there's obvious
ridiculous.
collusion.
Unless it's collusion, but
Yeah,
it's not going to be a whole lot of it. This is just friendly league. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
not going to be
nobody
a
would
whole
do
lot
that.
of
Or no, people
yeah.
collusion.
shouldn't do that.
We're not like random people over the internet. We all meet up in person for the draft. Like no one's fleecing each other on trades here. And I mean, if I the main reason I don't allow like a voting process is because it adds like a 2 to 3 day processing time to the trades, and
Right.
that like drastically reduces the number of trades that get done during the season, which is not fun. More trades
And
is more
also,
fun.
yeah, it makes people not want to trade.
Yeah. So like if you don't process a trade on a Monday, you're not gonna have the player for the Thursday game, and then you're like, oh, we'll just wait till next week, and then it never happens. So
It's a whole lot of things can happen between Monday and next Thursday, especially after a game.
yeah,
Like, player could do badly, player could get injured, blah, 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 so on.
yeah,
Especially with a Monday night game, too.
Plus, all the excitement of a trade just totally drains if it's not done
yeah,
like pretty soon upon the agreement. Then it's just kind of like you start thinking about it more and thinking about how you don't do it, and it's less exciting.
yeah. We'll get to that in the next part, but I mean, I think people just aren't really sure how to value draft picks yet in trades, future draft picks, and I did a lot of research on that. It's kind of tough, but
Hmm.
it's I think over time we'll kind of it'll flesh itself out like what a draft pick is worth. But let's go on.
I mean,
So
my only thing about that, draft picks win a lot usually,
yeah,
and they get undervalued a lot in these trades. Where you see something shiny and you want it in the regular season, you're like, I'll give up my second rounder. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay,
I think
great.
Joel gave up his second rounder for Saquon Barkley, which Barkley was
Okay,
great, but
yeah, though, sure.
as we'll see, didn't quite work out for the cost.
He got second place, so it's not.
Yeah, he
I wouldn't say that's not a bad trade,
no, he moneyed,
but I
but
mean, you never
yeah.
know. Again, that's what I'm saying. You never know with these trades.
So now his second he doesn't have a second round pick this year, so
He'll be
that's
fine,
rough. Yeah.
I believe.
So 11th place was my dad, 5 hole. Took down Chris Lock in the toilet bowl. So Chris will be the proud owner of the Horse's Ass Award, a prestigious award. My dad did pretty well. It's his second year playing fantasy football. He's getting better.
Hi, JMO's dad.
The first
Do
year
you
he
remember?
was,
Do you remember his the swamp trainer's motto at the beginning of the season, like his whole like drafting
oh yeah,
strategy?
the Rainbow
Was
Coalition.
was that or maybe I'm thinking about 2 years ago. He was drafting
No, this
old
was it.
people that were
Oh
good.
no, you're right. You're right. His first draft strategy was the old timers. Frank,
That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like him. Oh
you,
wait,
you got your Frank Gores, your Tom Brady, which is a fine pick, but
Brett
this year
Favre.
this year he pioneered a new strategy, the rainbow method. So the draft board is it's got the stickers. They're all different colors. So the first 5 rounds he drafted one of each position, and it looked funny on the board. So we called it's the Rainbow Coalition.
would he draft defense fifth round or something?
Yeah, defense and kicker. Got it all out of the way real quick. He was a 12th pick too, so he had the double pick.
Nice. It's good stuff.
We're move on. We got the this is surprising here. Best owner in the league by far, coming in 10th. Very rough. Coring the Turd Bowl. Just missed the playoffs. You know, not much to say there. Had a rough season.
Who's that? You?
That's Steven. I don't know if you know
Oh,
Steven. Steven. Oh yeah, you know Steven.
Sleven? Yeah, I know. I know Sleven.
Magic boy.
Yeah, of course. Back from the
Magic
good old days.
magic friend.
Sleevan's just like dealing picks all the time, yeah?
He doesn't trade at all. He loves his players.
Mhm.
He thinks the best of them.
Mhm.
Corey in the Turd Bowl, he was rocking Corey Davis during the season. You got Drew Brees, your boy.
Mhm.
Carried him for a while, just couldn't quite make it to the dance.
It's a story of Saints fans' lives.
Yeah. Move on. Who's this guy?
That was my team. Yeah, we were on our way to making playoffs, but lost a couple of close games at the end of the season.
Unlucky.
You're rocking the Jared Goff.
Yeah. Well, I had who's my other quarterback that was last season was Ben Roethlisberger,
Yep.
which I got him like really, really, really late in the draft, and then I also got Jared Goff as my last pick. Anyway, nothing special in my roster. We
I
move
mean,
on.
Yeah,
Goff worked out.
he traded for the Broncos backfield early on.
Yeah, as I
The
needed some more
Phil
running back
Lindsay and
depth because I
oh
picked
yeah.
Bell on my
Yep.
roster, and
Oh,
He was
uh,
the holder of Lev Bell for the entire season.
he didn't
that should
end up
be like an
playing.
asterisk next to Chris's name. Is
Drafted.
whoever drafts Lev Bell.
True.
Draft first round draft pick didn't
Yeah,
play.
did not
That'll
have a
happen.
first round pick.
Lost first round draft pick.
So I imagine you'd be a little bit higher if your first rounder played at all last year.
Yeah, you
Who
never know.
What
knows?
pick do you have, Chris? Chris, you have what, number 2 or number 3?
I have no idea.
Last year, I
Probably
don't
something
remember.
high. Something high, probably.
Uh,
It might have been
Windmill
two.
slams Le'Veon Bell.
I was second pick
Mhm.
last year.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Number 8 was Nildy. He had a really rough season, but really he picked it up in the playoffs and was able to fight back. Almost took the consolation tournament victory. So anyone who doesn't make the playoffs plays in the consolation tournament, and whoever wins that gets $20, a little something, and gets their pick of which slot they draft in for the next year's draft. So it's actually
Oh, that's
not
cool.
bad.
That's a good idea, actually.
Gives you something to play for in those
Also
last couple
keeps
of
it
weeks.
well-rounded in the first round, so that people who win don't randomly get the first pick.
Yeah. Uh, so who did win the turd or the sorry, not the turd bowl, the consolation bowl is our boy Mr. Jim, the magazine itself.
The magazine, the man, the myth,
Love the
the
kid.
Again,
legend.
rough year as well, but
Miss the kid.
turned it
4-9
around.
is very unlike Jim.
Yeah, we had a big blockbuster trade early in the year.
Where you screwed him over.
Well, he sent me James Conner, and James Conner's fate was very much un. It was confusing, so we didn't know if
Chamber,
Lev
what
Bell
did
was
you
coming
give him?
back. I gave him DeAndre Hopkins, Devonta
Okay.
Freeman,
Okay.
and some other small shit.
I thought you were about to
It was
Devonta Freeman
destroy
get
our poor
injured the
Mr.
next
Jim.
week.
he was injured when I traded him, so you knew
Oh,
that.
okay. There's something about that.
Hopkins
Hopkins is fine.
he was the prize there, but
I mean,
Connor ended up working out for me.
yeah, it's fine.
I started off 0
I
and
thought
4,
I
so
thought you
yeah.
took him down for something.
No, Jim's a
I
good
said, he's
trader.
just a boy. He's just a boy, dude.
Jim's a very good trader, but he loves to trade, so he always tries to make something work.
So looks like we're coming up here on the middle of the pack, the bottom half of the playoff teams. Got Mr. Greg off the dome. Is really hyped out at the draft last year about his team, saying this was the year.
Obviously, dude. I have to root for him. Another member of the Who Dat Nation, right there.
I was
That
about to
was-
say, who's that?
Who dat? Who's rocking the Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey stack? A lot of points,
Yeah.
a lot of points.
The
Aaron
biggest
Jones.
Saints trader ever. Goes for all the Panthers players.
You had Melvin Gordon. It's kind of rough towards the end
He
of
had
the
McCaffrey
season.
and Melvin Gordon?
He did.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he lost first round in the playoffs.
Happens.
Still nice to make it. Fifth place, it's your boy, Mr. Me, Mr. Moo. Started off 0 and 4, made some shake-up trades to try to just do anything.
Waiver weenies.
The waiver,
Historic year.
not quite a waiver weenie this year, but
That was prior year.
James Conner really saved me. It's pretty fitting because that's my name. So
Who are your stars? Who'd you have? Who are your guys?
um, let's pull it up real
Cohen.
quick.
Let's pull up
Oh,
the dumpster fire team.
I didn't have Cohen this year.
You had Cohen this year, didn't you?
No, I
Tyler
actually. So
Gurley
I
got
had like
Tariq
a.
Cohen?
No, that was last. Joel or I think Chris Lock had him. And he traded him to Joel towards the end of the year. I had Cohen the year before. I spent like 60 fab on him. Didn't do
Did I
anything.
even play this last year? I don't remember anything. I'm remembering the prior year.
Yeah, you are. I don't know.
I mean, you won 6 games, Chris. So
My team was like a smattering of RB2s. So I had like Adrian Peterson, um, James White. Although James White kind of overperformed, but
yeah, but still,
uh, typically he's not as good as he was. But Lamar Miller, just mediocrity at its finest.
sure. Texans
Um,
run the ball, sure.
Russell Wilson. I always go for Russell Wilson.
Great quarterback.
I made a trade with my dad to pick up Zach Ertz midway through the year. I forget what I sent out. I think I packaged Isaiah Crowell after his 200-yard performance against the Browns
I
or something.
remember that. You were
Yeah.
talking about that. You said so high.
So I put on my used car salesman face. Got picked me up a Zach Ertz while we were drinking on the
Didn't
train
you?
to a
Yeah, didn't you
Rangers
get your
game.
dad drunk and then convince him that that was a good
Oh,
trade?
I mean, I was drunk too, so it's
So
mutual.
it's all fair.
Yeah.
So it's consent.
We were crushing Miller Lights on the train to a
Uh,
Rangers game.
yeah, those $9 Miller Lights going to the
Yeah.
Rangers game.
And then I traded my 4th round pick this year to Nildy for Travis Kelce later in the year, right before the deadline. So I really did the 2 tight end stack. We have a tight end and a flex position where you could also play tight end.
You could flex that in, yeah.
So I went with they were pretty much sure things throughout the year. So and I had
I
plenty of
might play
running.
I might play in a league this year where they're going to flex a quarterback slot, so you can play 2 quarterbacks.
Uh,
You
I
had
don't
to
know
do
how
the
I feel
prior
about that.
years. Not a fan.
we've
That
talked
sounds.
we've talked about it, but
I don't know. That sounds kind of weird.
all right, we're getting into the meat and potatoes here. The actual good players. We got Jason. He was the reigning champion. She gives good OBJs. Real strong year. No trades at all. He's just a straight shooter. Just drafted a solid team. Deshaun Watson.
We almost made a trade in the middle of the season somewhere.
Yeah.
Made a couple things like drafted. Just pan out.
Never went through.
Rocking the Matt
No.
Ryan, Tyreek Hill, Odell Beckham, Robert Woods, solid on the Rams. It's a great season. Couldn't finish it off though. 3rd place we had our boy ZK. Zach had a solid team. He was crushing the high scores for the weeks all year. So whoever scores the most points in a week would get like $5, and so that could add up throughout the year, get you some money back. I know he had Zeke. He was rocking some Adam Thielen. He was crushing it early in the year. Juju. He's got Patrick Mahomes, keeper eligible, which is dangerous.
That's why he's scoring all the points.
Yep.
So.
Fell flat towards the end, but great season. 2nd place we got Joel, the trade bandit. What did he trade away? I think he traded away his 2nd, 4th, and 6th round picks to try to really lock this one in. Let's see.
With the help of Locke.
Yeah.
Giving
Yeah,
up
so-
second rounders is tough, dude. That's a high pick.
You know what
Yeah,
though?
he's-
I believe though, Joel definitely will come back strong this year. Even down all these picks, he'll know
Yeah.
which guys to pick up.
No,
So
I'm
you
not
should-
saying like you're doomed, but like that's second rounders. Like those are stars. You
Yeah.
know.
He can roll with the handicap though. I think he'll still be very very competitive.
Yeah, he's-
so I'm
He's
not
got 2
worried about him at
6th
all.
rounders, 2 8th rounders, so he's gonna have to have a solid middle of the draft there.
He's gonna dodge all the early players that you draft that get injured.
Love Bill.
and then grab those like second string guys that pop out as superstars.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He
that's how you
knows
got to
he's
do
set
it.
himself up.
That's how you got to do it.
And our champion, Cristiano Harambe, was an inside job. Classic. So he was a fifth seed, I think. Fourth seed, taking it home. So again, the top teams seem to rarely win, which is a little strange, but
I mean, it's
There's a
football. It's
lot of
any
good
given
teams.
Sunday.
yeah. Chris had Antonio Brown, Calvin Ridley, Mitch Trubisky, the absolute the legend himself. Marlon
Yeah.
Mack, he was a
A Pro
believer.
Bowler.
Pro Bowler.
Pro Bowler. First Bears Pro Bowl quarterback in decades.
Yeah, it's tough to top Cutler.
Pro Bowl.
Rex Grossman.
Yeah, Rex Grossman made the Pro Bowl of the Broncos.
So
Ooh.
so congrats to Chris there. Big year. Try to repeat
I
again.
mean, that's a good draft. It's a great draft.
Yeah, he was making trades during the draft like crazy too. He's got it all. He's got it going on up in the mental chamber there. You know what's that called? Brain.
There you go, dude.
That one.
Dumb
Killing it.
piece.
All right, so let's go real quick. We can go over kind of what's going to go on this summer and what's coming up. We just decided, so this upcoming Monday, the Home Run Derby, we're gonna do a little bracket type thing to decide the draft order for next year. So that'll be fun instead of
I heard
doing
it was going to be a beer pong tournament to
hell yeah
determine.
flip cup,
Flip Cup, obviously.
backyard
Ooh.
flip cup tournament.
Backyard Flip Cup.
Justin can be
Drinking
my
game.
Yeah,
co-owner
I'll
for
play,
that.
but I don't have a horse in the race, but I want to play.
Dude, you could play for my team.
We're gonna vote on some rule changes for next year. I know some people were looking to get rid of the kicker. I think was one of them.
Highly debatable topic.
Didn't you?
Contested.
I don't sway either way, but I'm just curious as why.
They say it's too random. It's too hard to predict, but
It's
Football's random.
tradition.
The,
You can
the
kick
point
it.
of the sport is that it's random.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
This guy's
I
a
think-
Bears fan. He wants kickers in. Look at this.
doink.
Double doink, man. Gotta own that shit. Gotta own that shit.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
even know who our kicker is. All I know is we couldn't get Robbie Gould, so just
oh
a
no.
little hurt.
Well, you gave up Bobby Gould. He was perfectly fine.
Hey man, sometimes you make some
I
questionable
mean,
decisions.
they also fired Lovie Smith after winning 10 games.
Questionable decisions.
I think one of the other rules we wanted to vote on was the trade deadline. Some people were, again, this was the first time we allowed trading of future draft picks.
Yeah,
So
I think
when
we're also talking about limiting
yeah,
draft picks to a certain amount
We're
of
so-
them, and so you can't literally fire sale your entire team.
yeah, we're still on the fence there. My personal opinion is I don't want to limit how many trades someone could do because they're fun.
Mhm.
If you, we should strive to have a rule that allows you to make as many trades as you want, while still keeping the
Keeping the
integrity of the
integrity,
league.
yeah.
Yeah,
Was the trade deadline? You think it was too soon or too late?
I think it was too late.
Mhm.
So, um, I don't think trading a bunch of draft picks is an issue. I mean, you're paying to be in the league. You should have the option to do that with your picks. As long as you come back and play in the next year, and I have faith that everyone's going to do that. League's been going on for a while. But yeah, I think the trade deadline's like week 7, and with a week 13 playoff start, you could have a pretty good idea of how your season's going. If you're not super confident in your team, you could just fire sale if you want.
It's a gamble because it's halfway through the season.
Yeah, and like I
Yeah,
said,
that's
a lot of our past champions were people who came in 6th in regular
Yeah.
season, 6th, 5th.
It's a tad late, but I mean, I don't know. That's like something you guys need to actually vote on because that's also before a lot of buy rounds too, that come in 7, 8, 9. for a lot of teams,
Mm.
which
That,
makes it kind of weird.
yeah, those are the tough weeks for
Yeah,
some people have rough teams because they're a lot of people on bye.
right.
We were considering making a different trade line for draft picks. So if you want to trade a draft pick, you have to do it by like week 5, maybe. But
Right. And people are
regular
trading
roster
over.
trades can have the normal deadline. But we'll vote on that. Um, I feel like this date is kind of arbitrary. I just picked a week before the our my proposed draft date for the day you have to submit which players you're keeping, and then I'll post that to whatever Facebook chat or whatever. So I have
Is
a
there a limit?
tentative one keeper. I get next slide. We got all the info.
Okay.
Our draft tentatively is August 31st, so it's a Saturday. That's cool. The season starts Thursday that week, so I imagine that would be the best time to do it. So clear your calendars, and then yeah, the season begins. Like we said, we talked about this trade deadline, draft pick trading. It's a hot topic. Removing the kicker, trade vetoing. I'm pretty confident in the way we have it. I think we've had a lot more trades without a veto option, but
Yeah, obviously, if a trade is exorbitantly, skewed, should like we'll all get on top of it and talk
I mean,
about it.
it's pretty obvious when the
It's
trade is.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty obvious when something's
yeah.
up. But again, I don't think it's a concern.
I mean, have you noticed a trade where like everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Besides the ones that Steve offers, no.
It's funny. Steve will just troll with he'll offer you like
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's
Is
still
it
obvious, right?
is it
Like it's
Yeah.
it's
troll
an
though,
obvious
or is
troll.
it serious? Because I don't think
you'll send
hard to
him a
tell
legit
sometimes.
trade and then he'll fire back with like he'll trade you his kicker for like Antonio Brown just because he didn't like your trade. But we'll go into that. Maybe we could have like a council that could approve a trade so we can get it through quick, you know. And if there's like a tie on the council, then
3 people, dude.
I don't know.
You're bringing outsiders too to decide that kind of stuff.
True. Twitter
You know.
poll. All right, keepers. So I decided we decided to approach keepers a little bit differently than what's I think is typical. I joined a different league with someone from work last season, and I inherited a team. And keepers, the person, someone kept Alvin Kamara for a last round pick and Kareem Hunt for a 14th round pick. Kareem Hunt's fine. I mean, that's okay, but Alvin Kamara, that's like that guy destroyed.
Guy sucks.
He won the championship
Guy
easily.
sucks. Trash.
So, and I saw that and I was like, we are not doing that. So, our rules are kind of catered to prevent you from keeping a free agent like star that emerges out of nowhere, because that's not fun for anyone. The draft,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just happens, but it's you're right. It needs to
yeah,
not be that skewed.
yeah. So you're rewarded during the season for, putting up the right amount of fab to. Justin, I don't know if you use fab. Have you ever done that? It's like a currency. You're given like $100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's how you get free agents. It's like an auction system, pretty much.
Free agent
Right.
dollars, free agent
Yeah.
bucks,
Yeah.
maybe.
Um. So if you get a player like that who comes out, out of nowhere, you're rewarded instantly for the season. You shouldn't. I don't think it should carry over for 1 or 2 seasons after that.
Double dipping.
Yeah. So in order to keep a player, they have to be on your roster the entire season. But to add a little spice to it, we said if that player is traded, they keep their eligibility. So it gives players, maybe like a deep round receiver or someone like DJ
Tyler
Moore or
Lockett.
something. Someone like a late round guy who's like maybe not so great this year or like being drafted low this year, but might blow up next year. They keep their eligibility for keeper status through the trade, so it gives them a little bit more value. Makes trades a little bit more interesting. I love trades, so um, we we didn't want keepers to be early rounders. Again, I think the draft's the most fun part of the season, personally. So if you're
It's super boring if everybody just keeps their first rounder.
yeah
Like, let's just
yeah
put it out there. It's lame.
yeah if like all your Lev Bells, your Sam Darnolds, all your
I would
superstars,
not love Bell.
if
No.
all your superstars. No, if all your
Superstar,
superstars are getting kept, like, it's boring.
It's boring. It's
Yeah.
just boring.
So this like makes you really do some future thinking, like who's gonna be good next year. So it's fun.
We'll get into that later. We got some slides to talk about like good players for each team to take or consider keeping for the next season, like who is eligible and what the prospects look like for next season.
That's an interesting one, JMO. So you could take the same guy twice in a row, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So
Mhm.
in order to keep, you lose a pick. You lose a 1 round earlier pick from the position they were drafted.
Mm.
So like if you drafted them in the 8th round, you'd lose a 7th round pick.
If you take them the second time.
No.
Yes.
No. So say I drafted someone in the 8th round last year. I want to keep him this year. I lose my 7th rounder.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but I can't keep him a second time because his draft status for this year is a 7th rounder.
Which would be a 6th. Yeah, I'm saying, say you take a 10th rounder and then you go for a 9th. Take him again next time for an 8th?
Yep. So the longer you keep them, the more valuable they are.
Mm.
2 years. We'll see how that goes. And again, we've never done it, so I don't know what to... Sick.
So what else we got? We're gonna get into the
So if you traded away the pick that you're supposed to give away to keep a player, you can just give the next pick higher. So
Oh, but you still have the choice. That's cool.
yeah. So you don't want to like fuck yourself, get fucked for just doing trades again. Trades are supposed to be fun. You want to encourage them.
Right. So you still have the option though. You just have to give up something a little more.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go through everyone's available keepers. We got some info. We got the pick they're gonna lose if they keep them, where they're currently being drafted, as of today, and it's just some stats here. So I don't know. Someone started off with Saquon D's nuts.
Look at this handsome man. I see. I was under the impression, I didn't know before when we were talking, JMO, that you could only take one because I like both of these as keepers with the value he has. I think providing, like we talked about, Carson Wentz doesn't fall off his bicycle and his morning jog or whatever and kill
Stub
himself.
his toe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then be out for another year. The Eagles are gonna light it up, dude. Like, and I hate to say that. I hate freaking Eagles.
Dude, 2 years ago, Wentz was on my team and he crushed.
It's just I have the Eagles schedule right here. These secondaries are gross. I don't want to actually say some of them because I'm gonna insult people in their teams.
because of some of the Saints.
Because of no, there's nothing wrong with the Saints secondary. Stop. But like, she's just. I mean, they're in a weak division anyway. They have 2 games against the Giants, the Redskins, blah blah blah. Cowboys defense is fine, but whatever. And just some of these secondaries just look like this guy, like Lions. Oh, they do play the Bears, but that's not who I was talking about. But like, I think that he's easy with Deshaun Jackson, who's a speedster that he never had before, and then the rest of the receiving core for like 30+ touchdowns for a 10th round pick, dude. Like, just you could just eat that as your quarterback.
It would be a 9th round pick.
Or a 9th rounder, sure.
Or no.
No. So
no.
he
was first time. So be a 10th rounder.
Yeah. So he was drafted in the 11th. That's how I'm going.
So he for a 10th rounder, you get a guy who's probably gonna throw for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and make the playoffs. Like
yeah. So
and then, like
just
you can't get much better than that.
So I'll just say the names next time because I don't know if everyone's gonna be. I might put this as audio and video. So Chris has the option between Sterling Shepard and Carson Wentz. Sterling Shepard would cost a 7th round pick, and Wentz would cost a 10th.
Again,
so
like just real quick though, Sterling Shepard for a 7th is still, I think, value. Like James was talking to before, that seems like overvalue, but without Beckham there, some of this like statistics I looked up with Manning is that when Beckham's not in a game, his without Barkley, his only guy that he really trusts is Shepard. Shepard gets more targets than anyone on the team. He just can't really haul them in. So if he takes a step up for a seventh rounder, Shepard's great without Beckham on the team.
Yeah.
Shepard was decent last season too.
Yeah, he had like 800 yards and like 6 touchdowns, and that was with Beckham on the team.
4 touchdowns, 870 yards, 107 targets.
As a wide receiver that's second to Beckham, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that Beckham's gone, is Golden Tate the guy? I don't think so. No.
He's got a bit of a
might draw some tougher coverage.
Good.
Between these two.
That's what I'm saying. He got the targets. He just needs to pull down the receptions.
Yeah.
But I think they're both fine picks. I would go with Wentz here.
And I think Chris has the ability to take some risks because he's got 2 second-round picks, 2 fourth-rounders, and 2 fifth-rounders. So
that's what I mean. Is if he takes Wentz with a 10th and just locks his quarterback in, those just turn into more wide receivers and running backs.
Yeah.
If I know Chris right, he's going to take Sterling Shepard, A, because he's a Giants fan.
Giants fan.
Want Sterling Shepard, and B, because he's going to want to pick up a quarterback much later anyway, I think.
I mean, we'll see. Wentz, I think Wentz will have a really, really good year.
But I don't know. He could go either. I just see him taking Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, I would agree, but we'll see. Oh, I can see him not taking either of them. But I don't know. It's my dad.
Going.
Yeah. So my dad, he's got Crowell, but Crowell tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. Not sure you would keep him anyways, but he's got Chris Carson, currently being drafted in the 4th round, latter end of the 4th round. He would cost him a 7th rounder. I mean, that's good value. I mean,
yeah.
The Seahawks their running backs are never that impressive. Ever since our boy Marshawn left.
It's because they run by committee now, and they usually run 2 to 3, which is the problem. Not that Carson's not talented; it's just that he shares the handoff with the guy always. Yeah, and then it might be a third guy too there. You don't know. I think that's still fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I would keep Carson for a 7th rounder.
Yeah, it's just purely based on value. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Yeah. Running backs are a hot commodity all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's usually none left in the 7th round at all.
Nice slide with the Achilles there, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's quite a steal.
Yeah, running backs are a hot commodity. We got Turd Bowl Sprots Ball Inc. here. Greg the Leg. 3 options here. Matt Breida, Chris Godwin, or Greg Zulerin. Matt Breida would cost him a 7th. I'm not sure that's worth it with how many running backs the Niners have right now.
Could be though. I mean, it's still a 7th round pick.
Jerick McKinnon came off. He's coming off his ACL injury. Don't know how he's going to be. McKinnon. You got Tevin Coleman there now, so it's a lot. It's a lot of running backs, a lot of mouths to feed.
I like Godwin here. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially with Deshaun Jackson out the door in Tampa.
Yep. Offensive guru Bruce Arians.
Offensive guru Bruce Arians. Yes, he's going to reinvigorate Jameis Winston. It's just there's too much value there. A 12th rounder for essentially a guy that might start on your team the whole year as wide receiver.
Yeah.
We know he's not going to pick Greg Zulerin because it's not Gostkowski.
True.
So
Pat's homer.
I think Steve's
going
to lock in Godwin.
Yeah, definitely. For that's just good value. But no more Ryan.
Best value for him, but
no more
Steve will do.
Yeah, no more Fitzmagic there in Tampa though, so you gotta rely on Jameis.
Bad weeks too.
Bite your tongue.
Where's Fitzmagic at now?
The Dolphins. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the Fins behind
Mr. Chris.
Josh Rosen.
Who you keeping? Chris has Ben Roethlisberger, Tyler Lockett, Will Lutz, or Jared Goff.
Chris, I'm about to go get the Will Lutz jersey out of the closet. Put it right on the screen.
Probably gonna take Tyler Lockett. He's looking to be a star receiver from what I've been reading, which is not a whole lot, but I've been reading headlines, and the future looks good for Tyler Lockett. But Jared Goff as a 15-round pick does seem pretty juicy too. So I think I'm
32
leaning towards
touchdowns
Lockett
last
though.
year.
I don't like Lockett here. Although the value is definitely there, I think Goff is just crazy value. I hate the Rams, and you know
But you
that.
can
They're
see
gonna
like how
pop off.
late quarterbacks go in our.
I know, but at the same
Our
time, like I don't trust Lockett after DK Metcalf just got drafted by the Seahawks, and he blew everybody away in the combine. Guy's fast. He's bigger than Lockett. He's faster than Lockett.
yeah, so
Like
he'll draw
he
all
could be
the
a star.
coverage. He'll
Yeah.
draw all the defensive coverage on him, and then Lockett will just get all the. I mean, Lockett was great last season. I kind of picked him up as like a mid-round pick. Like I just need some more. Pack the bench full of wide receivers. And when my receivers were injured and or whatnot, and I had to put in an extra like my flex position or whatever, I was plugging in Lockett. Lockett was he was pulling his weight every week. He was solid. I liked him a lot.
He was Russell Wilson's top option.
Yeah.
Maybe it changes. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think Lockett's fine here. I'm really high on Goff this year. I think you don't go wrong at all with Lockett.
We'll talk about it, dude. We'll talk
We'll
about it.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about Goff throwing for 40 touchdowns next year, and I hate myself even more.
Moving
All
on.
right, we got Nildy coming up. He's got a lot of keepers, none of them super great. I think the one that stands out is D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah,
Probably the
12th round pick.
probably the best guy in Jacksonville there. He's currently going at the end of the 9th round. Nildy would have to give up a 12th rounder for him.
Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris.
I'm sorry.
Freddie Morris. Could keep him if you want, but I don't know what he's doing nowadays.
Chris Boswell, is that the kicker for the Steelers?
That is the kicker. Yep.
Yeah, it's Westbrook.
It's
Yeah.
like Westbrook.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep a defense.
The Jags
No way,
Jags got Nick Foles now, so
Rams defense is worse anyway.
should see a little boost there. There's no more Blake Bortles. Or is Bortles still on the team?
No,
Did he go somewhere else?
Bortles
Bagging
He got
groceries?
cut.
Bortles is on a team for now, but
Yeah, but he got cut from the Jags.
yeah, he got cut from the Jags. He'll be
Yeah.
he'll be back up somewhere come preseason.
Alright.
They always do.
Westbrook locked in. All right. Next up, we got the magazine, Mr. Jim. Tough choice here. We got George Kittle. He's going to lose a 10th rounder, though. It's pretty steep for the
Horrible.
28th overall.
Get the slide, dude. Mr. Jim slam dunks Kittle. 10th rounder.
Next.
Not even worth
Kittle.
talking.
It's the
Kittle
top
did
three
well.
tight ends.
Although I've been reading Kittle. I don't know. Do you think he's going to be able to reproduce what he did last year?
With Jimmy Garoppolo playing the whole season, yeah.
Yeah, but many of his yards came from monster plays. That's not.
Well, let me ask you this: even if he doesn't, he's better than any tight end outside of the top 3 to 5 that you would
Yeah.
take before round 10.
Tight end sucks. So.
Like if this
20%.
was like a 5th rounder, we'd be talking something different, right? But a 10th
Yeah.
rounder,
Yeah, you gotta.
who cares?
That's
if he finishes
7 round value there. He's currently
Windmill
going
slam.
3rd. Yeah, easy stuff.
Let's get to Greg.
Off the dome here,
Greg.
Mr. Greg, Bitcoin master.
Look at that
Bitcoin
picture.
master.
He's got Jordan Reed for a 9th. Absolutely not. Aaron Jones for a 10th. Or
Yeah.
Jerick McKinnon for a 13th. Interesting facts here. Greg drafted Jerick McKinnon after he was put on the IR last year. So he drafted him with the sole purpose of keeping him, or having the option to keep him this
Oh,
year.
having
So,
an option, sure.
so that's interesting. I think that was one of the only picks last year that was in that manner.
And he kept him all season.
Yep.
On the bench, yeah. That's
Good man.
We don't even have an IR slot. I think we might add one, but we didn't. So like,
Ooh,
he
it
was
on the
sit.
slide.
He was
Was
sit.
not on the slide, dude.
It was not on the slide, so never mind.
Dude, stick to the notes. Stick to the script.
Stick
no cards, dude, no cards.
McKinnon. I don't know if I keep McKinnon.
I wouldn't.
Aaron Jones.
I kind of
yeah.
like Aaron Jones, but
Yeah, I think it's Jones.
that's just me. I had success with Aaron Jones maybe like 2 years ago.
5.5 yards a carry. Like, come on, it's good.
No offense to
uh,
McKinnon, though. Let's be fair. I think McKinnon's going to be successful. I like Jones better here.
New coach in Green Bay.
especially offensive-minded coach.
Wants to run more.
I like Jones too. The only difference between these two that you could value is like you can get McKinnon for 3 picks less.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
13th is pretty late.
Greg might go strictly value there. He's a value-based drafter.
Again, like, I have no problem if he goes McKinnon. Like, it's still fine.
Greg's a 100%
So-
spike.
So at the, I don't know though.
Wait, are we gonna look at this? Are we gonna talk about this one too? Yeah, I was about to say.
All right, next up we got the Nobel Peace Prize. Might be changing my name to Yes Bell Peace Prize this year.
Has he reported to the Jets camp yet? Are you sure?
He has. He came to the.
He showed up.
He came to the mandatory stuff. Didn't come to the optional.
Did he ride his jet ski in?
He did. He actually filed a lawsuit against two of his girlfriends for stealing his jewelry.
At the same time, both girlfriends.
Yep, about $1 million worth.
Dang.
So he's having an interesting.
He does
season.
need the money now.
Released his mixtape. Big off season for the
All right,
Jets.
so let's talk about this.
I've got
he was going to the Jets
obvious
off-season,
Gostowski.
like, during the season though, because he was riding jet skis.
He also probably went to the zoo.
It was
and
a
saw
sign,
bear.
dude. It was a sign, dude. So I got a lot. You know, going through the year, I traded.
This is ridiculous.
I traded for James Conner. I kept him all year. He's amazing. I don't know if he'll be as good, but for that value, I got to keep him.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. It's James Conner.
Something I was trying to trade Kenny Galladay like all year last year, while telling people that listen, you could keep him next year. He's gonna be drafted super high probably, and you get to keep him for a 10th rounder, but no one wanted him. So
I know. Yeah.
that's a keeper gone to waste right there for someone.
That's what I'm saying. So it sucks because you're right, and unfortunately now, that's it. It's gone.
Yep.
When we talked about like breakout players to be potential keepers though, does James Conner fit into that category where he's not eligible to be a keeper because he had a blowout performance last season and it's going to be too hot this season?
Yeah, but
I mean, this right looks like he's going to be like a 10th overall running back.
He's a second rounder for sure.
But he was the idea was that he was drafted one, so he wasn't like a free agent pickup, and he was rostered all year.
Yeah. The other thing too is that that was like a weird situation where he wasn't even going to be like if Bell shows up to that camp, he doesn't see the field most of the time, right?
Yeah,
it's just that just happens.
It's strange.
Like a lot of these guys sit on the bench are actual stars. We just never see them. So it's not like he was like some like rookie that
I get
have
that,
college tape.
What would qualify then for that rule?
Alvin Kamara going in the 13th round.
I guess.
Because he was a rookie. That's what I'm saying. Like that. I don't know. I mean, that's up to you guys. I'm not part of the league, but.
Oh yeah, I see. I don't know how to.
I just don't know where the line's going to be drawn.
He slipped.
This is kind of like a.
So his situation, he slipped by both of those conditions. Do you add more? What condition would stop that?
Yeah, because it's a fine line of like how good is so good that you can't keep them.
That's because we don't have a clearly defined rule about it with like any sort of like basis to go on.
With what?
With what keepers are ineligible based on a performance.
Like if they're averaging going in the first round, for example, the next year.
Like we just kind of like. There's no rule set in stone right now. It's just kind of like we were talking about. Like, obviously, we don't want like somebody getting Alvin Kamara for free, basically.
Or like Barkley, who's going to go number 1 overall probably.
But probably like not that this is necessarily a case like this, but bringing this up leads me to believe that we probably need more, stringent.
It's possible. I just don't know.
This kind of stuff, so that's not like bias or like. It feels like if we had done this to like, Greg, and Greg thought that we were just doing it because it's Greg, and we didn't want Greg to get Alvin Kamara or whatever.
Yeah.
For free.
No, I mean, obviously, if there's a rule that could fix it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I get what you're saying.
It's tough. I mean,
I think this one's okay though, because he's not even gonna go to first round. Like I think he's a keeper for sure. He's gonna be super talented. He's RB1, Steelers run the ball. He's not gonna go first round though. So I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, second round running back is still
It's extremely
really
valuable, true.
good.
But at the same time, you have to reward JMO for his drafting.
Sure.
Well, so
No, I'm not
so
against that.
Jim drafted him,
Okay,
knowing
so you have to
that.
reward JMO for stealing the guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I traded my first round pick in a huge trade for him and kept him all year. I mean, obviously I kept him, but
He worked out.
yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
what
we'll
could have
see.
happened was Bell came back and
And he'd be, I don't want to
nothing.
say worthless. He's still a guy, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
not anywhere near. We're not talking about James Conner in the second round if Bell comes back and plays for the Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if maybe if you put a restriction on their current draft position, like anyone whose ADP is less than seventh round, like that kind of, I feel like that would kind of deter you from making like like calls in the previous
No,
season, like,
because
oh, this
because if
player's
they're
going to be
gonna
good.
blow up,
Well, I mean, what if you draft someone late, then they blow up, and you did your research, and you're like, I think this guy's going to be good next year, and he
then
is.
you get him for that season that he was good.
Oh, what if he's good? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, oh yeah, I get what Chris is saying. Like you did your research, you got the guy, but I still
It's
think
all, I
like
mean, it's all a crapshoot after all.
yeah.
But
In a keeper
I
league
just
though,
think
like I like doing
either
that
you
research
make a
those late
rule,
rounds.
you have to make a rule with clear definitions of how this rule is going to work, and not just. I think that's something that we'll need to bring up at the home run derby.
If I can make a maybe a suggestion, I think that if you guys want to go in that direction for a clear rule, something you could use that has like numbers and not just like he was supposed to not be good and he's good because there's no numbers there. If the guy's averaged to be going in the first round of the next year, because you have all these sites that they average everybody,
Yeah.
that could be something you could start on because that's a number you can look at. If the guy's average going pick 4,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay, he's literally averaging in the first round in every draft ever. Maybe that's something we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Let's write that down though to bring up at the.
Yeah, that's just an
Maybe.
example because that's based in numbers and not in just like he's really good.
Yeah. It's a strange situation. He's not. I don't know.
Because that's what it is right now. Is you're like James Conner, wow, he's just really good. It's like, well, you can't really make a rule based on the fact that he's just good.
No, that's why I'm saying we need a rule of some sort in order to,
Yeah.
add basis to this
Good
keeper
idea.
situation.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we can all also agree if it wasn't Connor, it would be Kenny, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No offense to JMO's other picks, just these guys just don't have
Yeah.
value that caliber would
If
have.
Unless James wanted to keep Steven Gostkowski just to keep
Yeah,
it away
of
from
course.
Steve,
just to piss Steve off.
And then do
which
the
has
troll
value in its
trades.
own right.
Definitely
Troll trade him.
Galladay. Probably not James White.
You don't want
James
Adrian Peterson?
James White made me too nervous last year.
I wouldn't take James White.
Like they got Rex Burke. Was it Rex Burkhead? Yeah. And
Yeah,
Sony Michelle.
Well, even just the value of the pick.
Yeah.
That's so much earlier than Connor or Galloway that you got. So
Yeah. I don't know. It's Connor for now, but we'll talk.
keep it going.
Jason, she gives go to BJ's. He's got Robert Woods, Mike Williams, Matt Ryan, Houston's defense, and Harrison Butker.
Butker.
I don't want to go first because I'm going to say something funny and I still believe it.
You're gonna smack talk Matt Ryan?
Well, I
Yes, I
hate
know
Matt
you like
Ryan.
to
Yeah,
do
he
that.
sucks. He's the most fake elite quarterback.
I think
in
it's
the NFL.
either Matt Ryan or Robert Woods.
Robert Woods seems pretty good. Robert Woods was solid the last 2 years. I remember
Yeah.
I had him 2 years ago, and he was
Top
picked
10 in
him up like
PPR
mid-season.
last year.
Awesome.
Was he? Did he get hurt for a couple weeks?
Not sure.
Last year, in the beginning of the season, I think he
I don't
sat
know.
out like 2-3 weeks,
He was
and
top
he still
10
put
though.
up like phenomenal numbers.
Top 10
yeah.
PPR wide receiver.
Yeah, he put up really good numbers, and he was it wasn't a serious injury. I think he missed like a couple games.
His current ADP is 39th overall.
39,
I
yeah,
think
that's
that's
pretty
pretty solid to steal for a 7th round pick.
Yeah. So Jason wouldn't be able to keep him next year then,
Yeah.
if you wanted to. So someone like Matt Ryan,
That's
you can
okay.
keep twice for good value, assuming all things
Oh,
stay
he
the same.
can't keep him because it would be below
He'd be-
his 7th. You mean?
yeah.
I see.
Single J's got a brain though. He'll be picking up the next. He'll be getting the crops ready for the next season. The new.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Williams in San Diego, Tyrell Williams is gone, so might have some more
It's fine
chances
pick. It's just,
alongside.
if you're gonna take a wide receiver, take Woods over Williams. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Keenan
Obviously
Allen
not.
his knee could explode and he'd be the number one. He'll be the number one guy. So you never know.
I mean, he'd be the number one guy in a team that still wants to play defense and run the ball. So.
Yeah. All right. We got the Kekistan kneelers.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about how he should
Oh,
be
shit! Oh
taking
shit!
the
The Butker.
he should be taking the no. No, but he should be thinking about the Houston defense. That could be the best defense in football next year.
Could be.
And for a third, whatever. All right. It's already lost its
I don't know.
luster. For 13th, getting the best defense in football, reinvigorated, new
Could
linebacker,
be.
new safety, J.J. Watt healthy, turn the ball over
Yeah,
all the time.
I don't know. I would take Robert Woods
It's worth thinking about.
over the defense.
Maybe.
They've put some
Defenses are so
turnovers
flexible.
out.
They're boring.
It is.
Whatever.
There's a
Yeah.
face to it.
We'll suggest it to him at the draft though.
Here's the Bears fan saying defense is boring.
All right. We're on Zach now. Zach's got a really tough choice. He's got
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Booker, Frank Gore, very good, or this guy Rick Mahomes. Not sure who that is. I think ketchup guy.
Patty M.
Patty M, 50 touchdowns last year. That's a bit of a no-brainer. So I mean, this would be this. Is this similar to James Conner? He's going in the third round, but he's by far the QB1.
I would say this is way more egregious than James Conner. This is the best player at his position, and he's gonna get him for a 13th pick.
Seems like a pretty good deal.
This guy scores more than some running backs.
Yeah, so I
in
mean,
fantasy.
how does
What else goes for a 13th round pick?
I mean,
What?
how many rounds do you have? 15?
16?
16.
16? Yeah, the defense.
Maybe
I'm picking
in
defense in round 13. Yeah.
Maybe in,
This guy's gonna get Mahomes when I'm picking like Jacksonville's defense.
Yeah.
That wasn't a knock on Jacksonville. They'll probably be pretty good on defense. Sorry, Jacksonville. I don't know, dude. I mean, this is a slam dunk, obviously, from Mahomes.
Yeah.
He won't have anywhere near the production he had last year. It's just statistically would be insanity, but like he's still going to be a top quarterback, if not the top quarterback.
Yeah. Agreed. Absolutely. Although Tyreek Hill, where's he at?
We don't know,
I don't know.
but at the same time, if you take away all of Tyreek Hill's touchdowns, Patrick Mahomes still threw 34.
it's not even
Yeah.
worth talking about. It's Patrick Mahomes.
It's Mahomes.
Pick.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Joel.
Joel, Herbie Versmell, 69. He's got a few options. David Njoku for a 7th. Kenny Stills also for a 7th. Trey Burton for an 8th. Justin Tucker for a 12th, or Darius Guith.
All right, so like
For
let's just
14th.
get Tucker out of the way right now, right? We're not joking about kickers anymore.
Yeah, kicker jokes are old news.
Yep.
Might not even have kicker anymore.
Darius is
Kind of like Darius
yeah,
here.
Darius is pretty value here.
Pretty
Obviously,
value
14.
for a 14th round pick.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
His ACL tear recovery going well.
He's gonna have a good season, I think. I really do too. Especially with it, they're gonna start a young quarterback here who's gonna be a rookie. They're gonna run the ball a lot.
I mean, the Redskins still have Adrian Peterson, Chris Thompson, and they drafted a running back, so
Yeah, but if this guy's
a lot going
legs are
on there.
skinny, yeah. But we see this. I was gonna say all the time, but that's not true. We see this sometimes when they have these veteran backs.
Yeah.
And then the hot hand comes in and just takes over the role.
Yeah.
Philip Lindsay did it. Philip Lindsay was like a 5th, 6th round pick in the draft.
I mean, there's no harm in
He was
keeping him
during
this
Simon
year, and
McCoy.
Yeah, exactly, for a 14th pick.
you could always see what happens. Adrian Peterson's probably not long
I
for
would
this
still-
league.
I mean, as a 14th round pick, getting like a
The
decent
starting running back,
that's
yeah,
like
it's just
Yeah.
multiply your value right there.
Keep him this year, and
That's
maybe
a no-brainer.
Yeah.
maybe he breaks out next year too, or
Yeah.
2 years from now.
For a 13th round pick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah. I like Trey Burton, but the value is just not there.
And Joel needs as much value as he can get in those late round picks for all the stuff he traded away.
He'll be fine. See, he already set it up.
Yeah. Last we got the other Mr. Chris, other Mr. Chris, third Chris,
Three Chris's in the league.
triple Chris. He's got Ronald Jones, the 2nd for an 8th rounder, Calvin Ridley for a 9th, or Minnesota's defense for an 11th.
Kind of like Calvin Ridley.
It's Ridley. Ridley
Yeah.
popped off last year. I mean,
Ronald Jones wouldn't be.
Ronald Jones has a
bad
chance
either.
this year, dude.
He had 30 touches in 9 games last year.
Yeah, he was hurt. Tampa was
But
a mess.
he's a
Peyton
running
Barber
back
came
though.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, running backs are hot.
Also,
Running backs have added value.
he
But
also runs a similar style that Bruce Arians likes that Peyton Barber doesn't. And Tampa's been lacking a running back one for like a decade now. So, like, Jones could explode, but Ridley's so safe here.
Yeah.
Ridley's the safer pick. I think Jones might have more value to
Oh,
it.
Jones could run for 2,000 yards this season.
It all depends on
Without
if he wants to. I guess.
If he wants to gamble, you mean?
When do you get to determine if you get to keep the keeper or not? Is it before or after you know your draft pick?
It will be after, you know.
It'll be after you know. So it also could depend on where he falls, like in the draft order. If
after
if he
he
feels
watches
he's
2 weeks of Buccaneers minicamp.
no, I mean like
Throw up in your mouth.
if he's a later round pick, the way it'll end up, there might not be many like running backs left by the time he would be able to get some decent ones, whatnot. So it might be more lucrative for him to take an extra running back in that case.
Saying Jones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be fair here too. Jones is what was that? What does it say? Running back 41.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be way better than that. It's just by like volume of touches alone. So I mean, like there is value there.
I think there's a lot of value there. It's something to definitely consider. I think that he'll need to think hard about whether he chooses that or Calvin Ridley, to be honest with you.
Because the thing is, Ridley is super talented, but he's second fiddle to Julio Jones, right?
Yeah.
Like every football team
Is Sanu gone?
has to have Sanu's there too, and so is Austin Hooper. So it's like he's like a superstar in a field of other superstars. Any given guy can get the touchdown.
Yeah.
I would go with
every NFL team has to have a running back that they give the ball to when they need to run the ball. There is a running back one on every team.
Running backs get beat
up. Jones will probably be it for Tampa. Whether they're good at running and he's okay, it doesn't matter. Somebody has to run the football in Tampa.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Volume of touches. There's value there because they have to give him the ball. They drafted him with a second rounder. He got hurt, yeah, but like you can't bail now. You use the second round pick on the guy. You need a running back. You have to run the football. Jameis Winston is obviously a scatter shot with the football. Like this guy's gonna touch the ball like 20 times a game as long as he stays healthy.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
all we got.
He's got. I think he has definitely the hardest decision.
All right, we wrapping this up.
That's all we
got. Now let me talk to you about Minnesota's defense. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have any more cards left.
What do you mean?
Cards to talk about. And my cue cards, things to say.
No more slideshows. You ran out of material.
The funsies? Just the funsies?
Out. Nothing more.
We're going for Justin's hot take right here. What's that?
Justin's hot take, just for funsies. Who wins the Super Bowl?
The New York
who
Jets.
Wins the Super Bowl? AFC,
The Jets have it all this year.
The Jets have it all. This man says. Everybody, you hear this? The Jets have it all.
Did you see Robbie Anderson race Alvin Kamara in the 40-yard dash last weekend?
Robbie Anderson, like 6 inches taller and like 40 pounds lighter.
He fucking crushed him.
Uh-huh.
He's fast as lightning.
So, wait, okay. So they're going to win the Super Bowl because Robbie Anderson?
They have Quentin, the highest rated rookie in Madden 20. Is it 19? 2020? Quentin Tarantino.
Who plays corner for the Jets? I don't know either.
Darrell Revis.
Yeah.
Jets players for 200, please.
Trumaine.
No, you're right. Do it. Hot take.
Trumaine Johnson.
Who wins the Super Bowl? Anybody, just go. Can't say your own team. I'm not going to say the Saints.
Rams.
I say Chargers.
Rams, dude.
Dude, the Chargers will never win. They will never ever win.
Dude.
Phil Rivers is gonna just play until he's 60 and never win.
I don't care about Philip Rivers, dude. This is gonna be like a wildcat snap to Melvin Gordon behind like a super sweet offensive line, the top 5 defense.
Chargers are like the Falcons. They're just kind of lukewarm. They get in. They do average.
Falcons went to the Super Bowl. They just blew it.
Because they're not actually. They're just a playoff team.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Dude, I'm gonna say the Chargers. I have faith in the Chargers this
The
season.
pick gets better than that, dude. That's
The Patriots.
No. I know. I
Yeah, we've been saying
eliminated.
that for 10 years, dude. No.
I eliminated Mr.
No.
Chris's option to say the Bears, even though they're like a Super Bowl contender.
I'm hopeful they'll do good. Like to watch them.
If they get a kicker.
Yeah.
To
Dude,
be fair, Khalil Mack can probably kick the football.
I think Bell's gonna go for over 2K.
We don't want to injure him.
I think he will too, but they still won't win the Super Bowl.
40 touchdowns.
40 touchdowns. What is that? 3.4 a game?
Yep. Give the ball to
Three games.
Le'Veon.
All right. Well, okay.
I don't know. I don't even know where to start with the pick.
No serious answer from you, J-Move?
I was gonna say, yeah,
We got
come on.
Chargers. Where's
The
your serious
dude, the
answer?
Vikings, dude. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, in the same division as Aaron Rodgers and the Bears.
Aaron Rodgers sucks. You can't.
Wait, I was supposed to be the one with the hot take.
Dude,
and
you
you
can't
just
even
said
chug-
Aaron Rodgers sucks and the Vikings are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Let's
can't-
discount, double check.
Have you
that
seen him chug a beer, dude?
Yeah, have you seen him throw a football?
I don't care. What about the Chiefs,
Whatever it
dude?
is.
Chiefs, nah, I'm not on the Chiefs anymore. No Kareem Hunt, probably no Hill. Defense looks shoddy at best.
The other team just beats people
Yeah,
up.
like like if you ask me about what the Chiefs are gonna do next season, they're gonna make the playoffs, and it's gonna be like the Patrick Mahomes fireworks show where he throws like another 40 touchdowns but like 30 interceptions,
Yeah.
and they win games 50-49 every week. People are like, look at these Chiefs, like they don't play any defense, they haven't for years.
We don't need it.
Meanwhile, Trubisky is like, guys, I scored my second touchdown of the season, and we're 10-3.
Good job, Lou.
And then Khalil Mack pets him on the head and says, "You don't need points.
We got you.
Good boy."
Alright,
And
we'll
the Bears win the Super Bowl 6-3.
we were half away from a Jets-Bears Super Bowl a few years back.
That's a little more than a few years.
Feels like yesterday.
We'll see if we can repeat it, dude.
Would have been Sanchez, Grossman, right?
That's so
Bad.
funny. Rex Grossman was actually successful in the Bears.
Was he successful in the Bears, or were the
Made the
Bears
playoffs.
successful? Were the Bears successful with Grossman?
Mr. Urlacher, thank you.
I mean,
Thanks for carrying
no
me.
offense, Chris, but let's talk about the
Thank
Bears as a franchise.
Thank you.
That's how it always is.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty good quarterback, and the defense just stomps on people.
Smoking
We're
Jay
hoping
Cutler,
that
dude.
Change a bit.
Where's Cutler? Is he playing?
Dude,
Cutler's hanging out with his model wife, dude.
Sounds not bad.
Cutler got so much money to do nothing on the Dolphins.
He's a former American football quarterback.
Are you looking him up now?
Yep.
Retired.
Smoking Jay.
Yep.
Smoking
He's
Jay.
done.
We're kind of rambling now, guys. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we're out
Yeah,
of
we're
here.
wrapping it up.
We out of
Alright,
here.
sick episode.
We'll talk about Smoking Jay later.
I'm gonna lose
Spending
sleep.
precious time talking about Jay Cutler.
I'm gonna lose sleep over James Conner being too highly rated for my keeper. So
It's too good.
Did I
thanks,
spook you,
guys.
dude?
It's
I'm
too good.
Did I
spooked.
spook you?
I'm spooked now.
It's been real. Thanks for having me on the show, boys.
Yeah, hope you come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Just some great insight, you know.
Thanks, man.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll be back.
Dude, we'll have a
See ya.
working title next time too. See ya.
See ya.